Hello, everyone. This is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. Yet again, I brought another pair of fantastic guests tonight. So please hit like, hit subscribe, share out the video, let everybody know we're here. And one more time, we have the Oswald Chronicles currently up on Kickstarter, so go check that out. And those are some of the covers. So without further ado, let's bring on our guests. First, we have one half of Atrocity Press.
Is this thing on?
Yes, it is.
On. This thing on.
There you go. Don't go boomer on me, bro. Max, introduce yourself.
I'm Max DeVill. I'm half the owner of Atrocity Press. You can check out our stuff at atrocitypress.com, or you can look it up, Atrocity Press Comics, on any of the social medias. I've been with Atrocity Press now for, it's 2022, so 4 years. Mm-hmm. We've been making books. And next year, we will have a Kickstarter every month per the year.
Damn. Okay. Nice. All right. And the other half of Atrocity Press, Johnny, please introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Johnny Reed. I'm the loudmouth, I guess. I guess it's kind of a tie with both of us. The other half of Atrocity Press, Max and I co-own it, and we both are co-writers. So pretty much anything that comes out with our label, you got he and I to blame for it now. So
that's right.
All right, nice. And I mean, and you just told me you own a retail outlet.
Yes, I own a Brute Squad Comics in Kansas City, Missouri. Nice. So it's like comics, toys, games, 40K, one-stop shop.
All right, nice, awesome. All right, cool, gentlemen. I got a general question. Yep. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Max?
Oh, I was just saying he sells so much 40K.
Oh, it's crazy right now. Yeah.
All right, cool. So I got a generalized question I ask everybody. I'm pretty sure you guys might have heard this one before, or variation on it, right? So when you guys are younger, little Max, little Johnny, right? You were out there. I don't need to know your first comic you ever read. I don't consider that to be that important. But what's the first comic you ever read that made you want to actually create comics?
The first comic ever that made me want to create comics was Spawn. Because seeing that those dudes did that, I couldn't draw for shit, so I knew that I would have to find an artist, but that never happened. So I went into B movies, and then as I went through the whole B movie section of world, I started realizing it's like, man, I could make these into comic books and actually have really cool set pieces. So I went back full circle, back to comic books, and I found an artist this time.
Cool.
So Spawn was the catalyst behind it all.
Johnny, what do you got?
Actually, I can remember my first comic was X-Men 146. I remember picking it up, and I just was really engrossed in this group of people that the world hated, and they kept saving them anyway. And I kept following them. And kind of like Max, like right out of high school, I was a metal drummer, so I was doing the tour. I was writing songs, writing music. So for me, I've always kind of been writing. Then I went into the whole horror movies genre, and I did horror movies. I was co-host of Night Watch Radio for 5 years, so a lot of it was interviewing people. And that's actually how I met Max. I was actually interviewing him, and that was with you and Hart, I believe.
Yep,
it was when I met, and we kind of kept in touch with each other. And I'd always just owning a comic shop. I always wanted to write comics, but it's always hard to find that artist. Me and Max, a couple of years. God, it's been a couple of years. Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years
now. Yeah,
Atrocity Press has been open for 4 years. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Me and Max have just been talking, because we were actually going to do movies together. We were going to start we actually started to do a movie company, and we were going to write movies. And he was doing Mary Machine Gun. And we just got to talking, and it's really weird how quick we became really fast friends. I mean, we went from just like, hey, he's an acquaintance to, he's like my brother, I don't think I could picture my life without this guy in it. And it's just one of those things where he's like, hey, you do a lot of writing. Do you want to edit, Mary for me? I was like, yeah, I'd like to proofread it, And I gave him some feedback, and we just started brainstorming. And then he's like, hey, do you want to write on the next one? Which, number one, just shows how generous as a writer Max is. this is his baby, and he's like, hey, I'd like to share this character with you. This went into, hey, I'm going to share my world with you. Do you want to write one of your comics? He's like, you got any ideas? I'm like, yeah, I got about 12. Which one do you want first? You know, and the Human Hunters was actually the second idea I pitched to him. And we talked it through, and it became a reality. Then we did another Mary. And then kind of leading into this as a segue, he calls me up one day, and as I call the Sam Elliott dark voice of yours, Max, and he's like, hey, I got this idea for a comic. And I'm like, okay. And all he does is says, he goes, Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Outer Space. That's all he said. And I just started laughing.
In
deep space. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? First of all, I mean, I didn't know if he was joking or if he was just pulling my leg. He's like, no, dude, I think this will be great. And then it just started rolling. And it's like, hey, we can do these characters. And yeah. And then the next thing I know, it was like, what, a month later, we had the characters and the outline and started doing the first issue.
Nice. Now, how'd you find the artist for that book?
Our art director, Fernando, he's the one that found Mateus. Mateus did not Human Hunters, excuse me. He did Human Hunters also.
Yes.
Mateus did Neo Tokyo, The Truth is a Virus for us. And then after that, we took him and sent him to some anatomy classes. And gave him some more stuff, helped him evolve a little bit, and brought him back in to do Human Hunters. And his art has just evolved immensely, and he's fantastic now.
Yeah, but then on Ninja Bimbos though, we have Alex.
Yep, Alex Santana.
And once again, that was for Fern. You know, he's like, hey, he brought the guy to us, and he had been what did Alex do first? Was that his first thing, wasn't it?
That was his first comic book.
Yeah, right out of the gate.
Yeah,
and just to let you know how we operate, issue 2 is now as a Kickstarter, but we've already written all the way up to issue 5, and they're already working on the art, the lettering, you know, like Human Hunters. We're all the way up to they just started working on issue 5, and issue 2 of it starts in October. So that's one thing I have to say me and Max agree on, and I was so happy when I came on board, was that any book that hits our Kickstarter, we're done. Yep. It's done. It's completed. It's lettered. You don't have to wait around to wonder if it's going to happen. Before we hit that submit, we're done. So like right now, Ninja Bimbos is just sitting there waiting. Once it hits that Kickstarter, we wait for that money. It's going to be printed. It's going to be shipped. And we're pretty quick at that. We're pretty quick, I'd have to say. I'm not trying to flex too much, but.
Yeah, we sent 188 packages in one day. We sent 221 packages in one day. We're a one-day fulfilling machine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we usually try to knock the majority of it out in one day. Of course, we have tagglers at the end, as people have to fill out those surveys, not everybody's real prompt. But, yeah, we pride ourselves to try to get that stuff turned around quick because we want to have a very professional, stance on this. Our stuff is done before it hits his starter, and then as soon as we're done with it, we're shipping it out the door. And now
if we can get it to you in 3 weeks, we'll be happy.
Yeah, and we almost have to now. I mean, like what Max was saying a minute ago, we're skipping January because of the holidays, but starting February, we're scheduled to have a new book every single month on Kickstarter. And for us to do that, we're going to have to fulfill them in a month. So,
yeah.
But as a consumer, it's great because once you get that Human Hunters 2, let's say you get Ninja Bimbos 2 this month, Human Hunters next month. You come around the first of the year, you don't have to wait a year for another issue. You're going to get about 3 next year for every one of our titles. And that's what we want to do. People are asking for more. They want it quicker. They don't want to wait around. So that's what we're trying to do. We're going to get it to them.
Yep. And it'll be great because it's not going to give them burnout too much because even if someone doesn't read all 3 books, it's like it's still a 3-month chunk between each book.
Yeah.
So they're good.
Okay, so you're rotating. So, I mean, what was the impetus behind pushing a book a month? Because, I mean, I'm almost at 8 campaigns a year. That's where I'm at. between me and my wife, we're probably at 14 campaigns a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, what was the idea behind it? Like who was like, all right, let's do this?
Well, we wanted to be monthly. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what it came down to. If we could be monthly, then we'd be good to go. Because we could get, and then if we could get ahead of ourselves, then we could get other companies like Antarctic Press or Image to publish our stuff, you know, and we can do these submissions because we've got 5 issues, you know, already ready already. And by the time we get to those 5 issues, we'll have another 5 issues done.
Yep.
So
I think on most of our books, it's funny. I want to say loosely, we have outlines probably on every title all the way up to issue 20.
Nice.
Already. We got about the next 3 story arcs planned for each book. Not unless Max wants to give it away. The title, I know we are having another book that's going to be launching out of Mary next year. I have one that I'm working on, this kind of a dark superhero one that I'm hoping to launch next year. So the goal is by the end of 2023 is that we have 5 rotating titles.
Wow. Okay.
yeah, and we might actually have 7 because we also got Love and Death.
That's true.
And we maybe have
Grim. And Grim. I say 5 because there'll be 5 that.
And Grimm's a working title because that's already taken. We got to find another name for it, but that's just working title for now.
Yeah, the 5 titles are the ones Max and I are writing. The other books, that's a kind of firm's brainchild, I believe.
Yeah, there'll be Atrocity Press books with his logo too. So
like co-publishing.
Yeah, basically, because it's like he's got Love and Death and Norska Havit and Grimm, and he's got another book he wants to do. I don't know the title of it. He was showing it to Johnny. Some different, very different style of art from what he's usually done.
So, for the future.
But I bet you he can do it. So we'll see.
Pete Vasquez says, I've been seeing you guys with one book pushing out a book before the last one was fulfilled. The fans need time to breathe. You want to waste some guys see a dip in the sales. Okay. So I guess his main concern is, and I've heard this before, even with my stuff, because like I said, I do tend to push really fast.
Yeah.
Is that, sometimes the fans will be like, oh, give me a little time or whatever. I mean, is that a concern of yours?
It is. That's why we was thinking that if they don't read all 3 books and they just say they just read Mary Machine Gun, they won't have to pick up one except for every 3 months.
Right.
And if they do read all 3 of them, then it's $15. Well, $22 a month. So that's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but it's same amount for just about anything anymore.
Yeah.
But also, you guys are offering the prior issues in the current campaign, so someone could like wait 6 months and just pick up everything at one time.
Oh yeah, definitely could.
We do catch-ups.
Or if they really wanted to wait a long time, they could wait until next March and then grab the trade paperback.
There you go.
Because we're doing the trade paperback in March next year.
Nice.
Well, and that's kind of it. Like when we sit there, we're going to be doing trade paperbacks on these books once we get 4 or 5 issues, just spending on the arcs. So there's going to be months in there that if you've been buying every book, you get that breather. Oh, they're doing a trade. I already got the issues. I don't need it. So some people may want. There's people that are completists. So they're going to want everything, but you're going to have that no matter what whatever collectible you're dealing with.
Yeah. The thing I found is that people who buy trades tend to not be the same people who buy the single books.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like they're 2 separate crowds. You're going to pick up. There's obviously a cross section that they meet, but that's probably only like 20%, whereas the rest is going to be like unique heads just for those trades. So I've always found that very exciting. Is like tapping into that other market. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trade for Mary Machine Gun. It'll be great because we're gonna have Mary Machine Gun. Like I think there's like 148 pages of content, of story, and then we're gonna have a bunch of pinup art, and then that'll be pretty much it. Probably maybe something about Mary, the creation of Mary Machine Gun, a little bit of writing in the back, and then call it a day.
That'd be cool. Now, when it comes down, you guys are co-writing. So how are you guys doing that? Is like, like who comes up with the plot, who's doing the dialogue, how you guys message? Are you guys just like dead?
StreamYards, brother.
StreamYard.
Brother. Yep, we use StreamYards, and then I pull up
a Word,
Microsoft Word on my end, and share my screen and zoom in, and then we just kind of bang through a quick outline about okay, what do we want? This is okay. We've already got like our major outline plot points, so now we need to come up with like the smaller stuff in between it. Let's go ahead and kind of skeleton that out. Then we skeleton that out. We put that on the other screen, and then I put the Word document back up, and we start. Page 1, panels. Panel 1, go.
and that comes to the part where it's like the finishing each other's sentences so often, because we'll be like for the dialogue, it's not like he does a dialogue. I mean, we do everything together. I mean, it's truly a 50-50 symbiotic kind of like situation. Because it's like, hey, what if she says this, or what if and then you'll like he's going to say this, and then and half the time he's typing it as I'm saying it, so he types quicker than I do. So, but I mean, this is how we do it. He has that screen, and we're just talking, and it's funny because it's not like we do it because like we live a distance. I mean, heck, we live within 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
But when we write, we don't want to be in the same room. This is our method. We jump on StreamYard and we just go through it. It's just so much easier. I don't have to look over his shoulder or vice versa. We're just doing it.
Gotcha. Now, are you guys doing like a full script, panel by panel? Panel 1, scene 1.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we go down to half the time we have reference shots of where we want it that we include for the artist. We usually half the time we even say what we want them to be dressed. If it's a fight scene, sometimes it depends on the artist. We'll go play by play. Like for Fern, a lot of times we don't have to because we know him, we trust him. He's our art director.
We'll just be like 3 pages of fight, please.
And this is who ends at the end, And then what we do is after he's done, we'll go back and put in like snappy dialogue. But sometimes like the one we finished last week, there's a really cool choreographed fight scene, and we kind of knew what we wanted for the flow. So we went ahead and went step by step by step. In the same book, we had a point where it's like, okay, 3 scenes of fights, because it kind of depends on where we are at. Because sometimes we get an idea that we want 2 characters to fight, and we already know kind of what the dialogue is. Because in all our books, they're all smart asses. I hate to say it, our characters. It's. Yep. I mean, Mary's a smart ass. Half the people in Human Hunters are smart asses. So
Charlotte's just a bitch.
Yeah, she is. But and then when you talk about, the ninja bimbos, it's kind of a great contrast because we have 4 different strippers, but it's not like they're all bimbos. Like Leah's our typical blonde stripper, dumb as a rock. She's fun to write. But then we have Donna, who's she's a stripper to put herself through medical school because she wants to be a surgeon. So she's like brain on brain, almost photographic memory. Then we go to Micah. Micah's like our street, wits. She's grew up on the streets and she's always looking for a fight. So, I mean, it's kind of fun to have those different characters and different dynamics, and we just kind of flow with it. It's fun seeing them bounce off each other. The funny thing about, talking about the artwork, originally when we were going to do, because Max and I are a big, B-movie trauma fan, that's the kind of stuff we grew up with. And then we were making B movies and a part of that, culture for a while.
Yep.
So so when we first were doing Ninja Bimbos, it was like totally off the wall B movie. And then the artwork came in and it was like, oh shit, this is serious. This is some good crap. So we had to go back and like rewrite it a bit here and there because we're like, we got to kind of step the game up. And, it's going to be more serious. It's going to be darker. And I think the finished product, says a lot because it's a book that you have your comedy, you have your sci-fi, you have your, your hot ladies, you have your drama, and it's comedy. It's a great mix of everything. It's kind of like, it gives you that feel of Guardians of the Galaxy in a way, just because it's got everything in one book, you know, and not all our products have that. We try for it, but that one really does.
All right, cool. Now, all right, so Max came up with the title Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space.
Yes.
Now, right. So you got that call. You had a laugh. Now, at what point you say, okay, now at what point did you guys say, okay, this is what the plot is, these are what these characters are, and how did you break that down?
Well, first off, we came up with the characters.
Yeah.
We were like, what 5 strippers do we want to have? Because we knew. I mean, there's a spoiler now, but I mean, if you haven't read it by now, you should have read it already. It's been out for a year. Alexis dies at the end of the first book. That's one of the strippers.
Which shows the seriousness of it. We kind of wanted to show that it's not all fun and games.
We had to kill one of them. One of them had to be the sacrificial lamb, so we chose Alexis. People were upset with us, but we chose her anyways.
Well, in creating the characters, to tell you the truth, like in this case, like when we do a Mary book, Max will bring me the character. I got this new idea. I want this character. And for the most part, it's already done in his head. You know, every now and then I'll say, hey, what about this? What about this idea? And he'll be like, okay, let's kind of add it, you know. But he's pretty much, you know, knows what he's wanting. And I'm the same with Human Hunters. I pretty much know those characters. Now, in this case, it was kind of cool because we're D&D guys, right? We grew up playing D&D. So we have character sheets that are blank. So we're like on StreamYard with the character sheet. Okay, this one's blonde. She's got blue eyes. This one's this. This is her attitude. I mean, we went as far as she's faster, she's smarter, and we're like ranking intelligence. Yep. So it's like we actually, you know, and it's easier because then we can give that to our artists and say, hey, here's your character sheet. This is everything about that character. So that's kind of where we work with a lot of them.
That sounds really cool. Now, you guys have mentioned a few times, you know, you guys both worked in indie horror films, right? In what capacities were you guys? Writers, producers, directors? What capacities were you guys doing?
I was a producer, and I was first off, I was a production assistant for a couple of years, and then I was a producer for a couple of years, and then I came up with a bunch of money to make a movie. And the director that was supposed to do the movie backed out right at the last minute and made me look like a fucking idiot. So I couldn't raise any more money in this town. So I had to stop.
And ironically, that was the movie I actually walked away from.
Yeah.
Because for me, my background is I originally started out doing lights and working on sound because that's from my band background. And I did that on a movie, but it's just, I fell into more, just for me, like I was in the financial business for 25 years. I was a client relations manager. I had my own team. I was going, you know, different cities for different clients. So that leadership role, I kind of fall into. So when I was on the set, I very quickly kind of became kind of like the manager, you know, so people would come to me. So by the time it was done, I was working as assistant director. I was working on, you know, as manager. I was also working on scripts. I was part of a couple of anthologies. So I was doing a little bit of everything. So if something needed to be done, I was filling the gap.
You were the guy.
Yeah, I was basically on the last few films. The director was there, and I was right next to him. Pretty much the whole movies. So, which kind of gives Max and I a unique perspective in writing. Because we really write in script form. I mean, everything we write, I don't see as, because some people see a comic book panel and scripts. I don't see that way. And talking to Max, I don't believe he does either. You know, we see it as a movie. You know, Ninja Bimbos, I could go shoot as a movie tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I mean, this would be our storyboards and we'd go. And that's the same thing with Human Hunters and Mary. You know, we write, you know, like someday my dream, I'm pretty sure, you know, we'd love to see this on film. You know, that would be the next step.
I'd love to see Mary Machine Gun as an animated movie.
See, I want Human Hunters as a live action
See, that'd be great. Human Hunters and Ninja Bimbos would be great live action, but Mary Machine Gun would be awesome animated because of all the crazy sword stuff and the guys with all the armor.
Oh, dude, you know what I just thought about? You know the box scene that you know what I'm talking about, right, Max?
Yeah. Yep.
Kurt Russell playing that character, dude, in New York. Yes.
The eye patch.
We need to add an eye patch.
Maybe one of you know Wiley draws.
What? Wiley draws? No, I don't know.
All right. Well, he doesn't like movies apparently.
Oh.
That's all right.
He doesn't like movies, no.
He'll get over it. It's okay.
Hey, our buddy Niobe saying hey though.
Yeah. No. Larry was all in here.
Oh yeah.
He was.
The stream sniping you.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. That's fine. He can stream snipe over. It's not like I'm gonna be like copyright strike. Trust me, I'm not that.
Right.
You know. Sorry. So, gentlemen, I mean, as far as like comics, like I know you guys have like multiple series going on. I mean, do any of these are these just gonna be all ongoings or just with different story arcs? Or you guys have like definitive endings? What are you guys looking at?
When I die. When we die.
Mary Machine Gun is going to be short series. Like Mary Machine Gun is like 1 through 4 is right. Mary Machine Gun. And then we're going to have another series of Mary Machine Guns with 3 issues. We just finished writing it. It's 3 issues. Right. I'm not releasing any information about it yet.
It's going to be sweet though.
Yeah. It'll if you like hot women, you're going to want to be on this one.
Yeah.
If you like hot goth women with big titties, you're going to want to be in on this one.
Nice.
Now,
big guns, however you want to take that phrase, right?
But
no, go ahead, Max. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I started talking about titties, and I got like, "Whoa!"
No, but Human Hunters is going to be an ongoing series. It'll just be a line of issues, and I think we're going to do the same with Ninja. I think Ninja will probably be the same. They'll both be ongoing titles.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, you guys are obviously going through Kickstarter. Are you guys considering any other platforms other than
Kickstarter?
We've tried Indiegogo before, and it was not good to us. Did not. I mean. Mary Machine Gun did quite well on Indiegogo, but we did. I don't remember.
We did Human Hunters.
Human Hunters on there, and it just got nothing.
Yeah.
So
and friends of ours have done Indiegogos on their titles, and it doesn't seem to have that punch that Kickstarter does.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I would love to do to Indiegogo if I could tap into that market, but I don't know where to tap into that market because there's obviously got to be somewhere that people are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're not drinking the right Kool-Aid. That's what it is.
I guess not.
Listen, I've been on there, and it's a tough mistress. It's that chick that always punches you in the mouth, but you always go back anyway. That's what happens to me every time. It's like, pap. I'm like, shit. I'm gonna try one more time. Why not? They raise like another $300. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking maybe to go ahead and just do one that was a flexible goal.
Right.
That way it'd just be kind of like if I sold it, if I sold anything, great. If I didn't, who cares?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
I look at it like this: it's a good secondary market. So if you raise an extra $500, $600, $1,000 on top of whatever you already done on Kickstarter, then it's just a little extra gravy for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I was thinking. Even if I sold like 3 or 4 books, it's an extra 3 or 4 books in people's hands.
There you go. Exactly. Now, Johnny, so you're a retailer. How are you looking at your own product in the retail market? Selling to your compatriots in other retail centers.
Actually, I just started that process. That's kind of one of the hats I'm wearing, I guess, for now. Is because Max does a lot of the Kickstarter and he does all the admin stuff. Mm-hmm. So for me, which thank you for doing all that, by the way, partner in crime. But what I'm trying to do is I'm going locally first, and I'm hitting the stores, and we got a couple local Kansas City stores that are now carrying Atrocity Press books.
Yep.
And I'm going around hitting them, and then my plan for next month is to start hitting ones outside our area, start emailing and just start pushing it. That way we can just have another avenue, to get those books out there.
Okay, cool.
And then if we can get it to where we have enough retailers, then we can do offset printing and then do like just a couple covers and then call it a day, and that'd be nice.
Or maybe just a retailer cover, for the retailers, just be done with it and have everything else for the Kickstarter. So,
Gotcha. Now,
so we're still experimenting with that one. I mean, like for me, I personally it's funny. We ordered a spinner rack, one of the old school spinner racks. We got a little sign that says Kansas City's own Atrocity Press. And we take that spinner rack to conventions, and then when it's not there, it's living here at my shop with our books on it. So we get a little traction here. It's not a lot because we want to hit the world. So, but we got to start. And that's it. These are our first baby steps, and then we're just going to keep growing and growing and let the machine go.
Mm-hmm. Now, you also talking about approaching different publishers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now, because I find that interesting, I have my own business model as far as how I'm approaching it, right? So I'm just curious, like, how are you guys approaching it? Like, at what point are you going to be like, okay, now's the time to start approaching, or have you already started approaching?
We've actually been approached.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So they came to us, and we were like, you know what? We'll go ahead and do it. I can't say anything about it yet because I haven't signed any paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
But they came to us and said they wanted Mary Machine Gun. So we'll see where it ends up. If it ends up doing what it's supposed to be doing, you should be seeing Mary Machine Gun in comic book shops in November of 2023.
Nice. Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, because the goal is to to get one book and then follow, and then the business model is just that get the word out there, and then once we get a certain number, and we haven't decided the number yet, we're still having those stepping stones. At some point, the dream would be to have our own section in Diamond. These are our books, get them every month. Or something like the Jim Balint model. Like I love his model that he's in Diamond every other month, and he's been a machine forever. Just every other month, him and Holly drop a book, and I respect that, because you always know it's going to be there, and you always get, know what you're going to get.
Right. Well, yeah. So that's also part of the conversation as well. Is like, are you all right? Well, you're already talking to a publisher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, were you ever considering maybe going it on your own, and just going through Diamond just as your own label?
The only thing that we couldn't do it because
we're not rich.
Well, we could have done it. We could have done it for a few months,
right?
Because the ad in Diamond is not cheap.
What's it running at these days? When I was going there, it was like $800 or $900.
It's $2,000 for a page.
God, that hurts my soul just hearing it.
Which the goal is to get there. It's just we don't want to get that cart before the horse. We want to have that natural, growth. That's the end goal.
First off, we needed to have product before we could really attack it, and then once we had product, we spent our money on making product. So now we've got a whole bunch of product, but we've got a lot of Kickstarters to run. So we're good to go. We just have to run these Kickstarters, and then. We got the thing from Kickstarter saying, hey, by the way, you're doing good, so you can run multiple Kickstarters now. And I'm like, sweet.
Nice. Now, listen, just to break it down real quick, right? Your cover price, let's say if you're going through Diamond or whatever, cover price is what, $4.99, $4.95, something along those lines?
Yeah, it'd probably end up being
I don't know,
like $4.99, $5.99, something like that, because it's an indie book. So
I don't know, because
if we went through Diamond, we'd have to do like offset printing.
Yes.
The one thing though I have noticed just as a retailer is that like a standard comic is like $3.99 or $4.99 prices. But like the one thing is, if you have a comic that has 38, 40 pages,
Right.
like the new Spider-Man, I think it was Spider-Man 900. You know, it was like a double issue. It's up to $9.99 an issue now.
That's
And there's a lot of indie books that I've been ordering that are $7.99. I mean, the prices are going up quite a bit compared to where they were like 5 years ago.
Yeah, Zenscope books are $7.99 now, I think.
Some are. It depends on the page count.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. When they go up to like 40, 48, 60, 40, then it's $7.99. Yeah, I've seen a few companies doing that.
It's like when I have customers come in, it's like I got my $3.99 DC and Marvel, and then I got a $4.99 stack for like the special limited series is, one shots DC and Marvel. Then over here, Dynamite's $3.99. I don't know how they keep it going. But then everything else is like $7.99, $8.99, $9.99, and it's all over the freaking place. It's all over the map.
Yeah, I think Dynamite, is in a special place. They got that boys' money, and they produce so many books. Man, I would imagine they have that. They have their core book price. It's probably a quarter.
Yeah.
25 cents per unit, maybe even 6 cents. That's how many books they produce monthly.
They were given when they redid Vampirella, when they started her over again, they had 50-cent books because the original Vampirella book was 50 cents.
But now they're doing a deal where they have some of the main cover artists every month. I mean, Joseph Michael Linsner, he does like a Betty Page. He does he does a cover for almost every book. The John Carter. You have a lot of these guys. Was it Noto? He's doing a cover in all these books. Yeah. And it's getting to the point where I have a lot of customers that just want to turn around and buy 3 or 4 different covers.
Right.
And every month they want every Linsner book, or every month they want every Noto book. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah. This guy Roland Mendoza, how you doing, Roland? I missed the $2.99 books. Image still used to do $2.99 until a couple of years back. $3.99 is reasonable for main cover.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like $3.99. I mean, if we had to do offset printing and we could get it, knowing that, we would talk to Sam Quinton because he's the offset printing master.
Yeah,
that's true.
And we would find out how to get our prices down as low as possible, so we could keep our price point as low as possible on the offset.
I mean, the one thing I would always advise: gang print as much as you can.
Yeah,
wherever you can, as much as you can, gang print. That'll save you a lot of money. But the reason I was bringing the whole thing up is just to do some quick math, right? Like, let's say if you got that ad at Diamond was $2,000, and you had a $5 cover price, and their VIG is usually about 60%.
Yep,
$2 per books roughly, right? You'd have to sell 1,000 units just to break even on the ad.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to probably sell 10,000 books.
Yeah, to make some money.
Money. Because you still got to cover your artist. Well, you're covering all your artist costs probably through Kickstarter, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's good. So you guys are going to be.
We pay for our artists up front,
right?
And then we run the Kickstarter and pay ourselves back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right,
that goes back with the whole thing that it's all done at the beginning.
Yeah, which means we pay ourselves back, and then it just turns around and goes right back into the other's pocket again.
Right. Yes. yes. I know exactly how that feels. I'm running on an initial $5,000 investment, and I just keep trying to recycle that same amount.
Yep.
We're way past that one.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm. Well, that was the initial investment. It's expensive.
It's an ongoing animal.
Yes.
It constantly needs to be fed.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up your guys' campaign.
All right, cool.
So we can take a quick look at it.
Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space. Number 2.
Number 2.
Well, you guys got another 11 days. You made your goal. You doubled your goal, and there you go.
Oh,
there's another one right there.
Bam.
The boomer.
Nice. So yeah, there you go. So now, man, you guys are doing awesome. You guys have how many covers do you have on this book?
8 total. That counts the naughty covers.
Okay, cool.
We've got 6 safe for work and 2 naughty covers.
Nice.
Those are the interior pages by Alexander Santana. Colors by Adam Ramos. Lettering by SK. Inks by Fran Cord.
Cool.
And then here's all the covers. If you zoom down below it, you can see the covers blown up.
Yeah, we can just skip all this and then we'll go ahead and show the bigger ones.
There you
There you go.
So who's this one by?
This is Alexander Santana. This is cover A. We give cover A to the interior artist all the time. That way you know what you're getting. I hate buying a comic book and seeing something awesome and not getting what I wanted. On the standard cover. Now, if it's a variant, like this is a variant by Mariah Benez. You're not going to see the same type of art in there because it's a variant by Mariah Benez.
Yeah.
This is a variant, not a standard cover.
And the one thing about her is she's always our B cover. So if you love her artwork, every B issue we're going to be doing, Human Hunters, Mary, it's the Benz cover.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Then we got LC Free Test doing Rachel.
Yeah, I love that cover.
I love her
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Really, really nice face. I love her face.
He's really good at doing expressive characters.
He do the colors as well, or is he just doing the pen and ink?
No, Adam Ramos did the colors for all of it.
Okay.
Fran Cord did the inks for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then each of the artists did their own pencils. So this is LC Freitas' pencils. Mateus Duarte did the ones below it. The girls had to find somewhere to take a bath in the post-apocalyptic world. And a fountain seems like a good enough place to do it to me. All right.
You know, I just noticed if you look at that picture, Donna, the smart one, was the only one in it. It's like she's smart enough not to be there. That's awesome.
And then we've got all the girls standing at Broadway and West 34th Street, which is a real intersection.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
And it's got all the girls there, this is the safe for work version of this cover.
Yeah. Oh well, actually, I work in Manhattan, so yes, that's
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Then that's the Steph Wilson cover, which is the safe for work version of it.
Is that Steph's?
Yeah. Can you
I
believe
couldn't
that?
tell. It looks so different.
Oh, yeah. No background.
Yeah.
And then here's Fern's. There's his not safe for work cover with the strategically placed POWs.
Nice.
And then more strategically placed POWs on the
Steph.
Steph Wilson. It's not nude, but the girls, their outfits are basically transparent.
It's still not safe for work.
Yeah. And then we've got if you bought a not safe for work cover, you get all 5 not safe for work prints because we've already hit $5,000 in funding. So you get the Leah print, which is number 1. And number 2 is the Micah print. Number 3 is the Aijin print. Number 4 is the Donna print. And number 5 is the Rachel print.
Cool.
You can get the combo packs with the safe for work and the not safe for work covers of the same one if you want, with the Fern Cord and the Steph Wilson stuff. You can get Ninja Bimbos on digital if you want. You can get safe for work, or you can get either one of the not safe for work covers too. If you get one of the not safe for work covers, you get all the prints in a digital format. And then we've got our add-ons where you can buy all the other stuff that Atrocity Press has put out with the cover A. And the Ninja Bimbo's the full Ninja Bimbo. This is all the safe for work covers. And then we've got the full Ninja Bimbo's Naughty, which is all the covers, including the not safe for work covers. Then we rock into the stretch goals. We're currently at $6,201, so we have reached trading card number 4.
Nice.
Which is Micah. So we've got Aijin as trading card number 1. Donna's trading card number 2. Leah's trading card number 3. And Micah is trading card number 4 in the Quentin Tarantino of I don't appreciate this pose. And then next up at $7,000, we've got Rachel doing some yoga.
Nice.
At $8,000, we've got the LC Free Test bookmark. $9,000, we've got the Mariah Benez Leah Cup sticker. And then at $10,000, we've got the LC Free Test Rachel poker token.
Nice.
And of course, this comic book is done. Everything's finished. As soon as the money comes in from the campaign to us, we send it directly out to Comics Wellspring, as you see below. That's what we print with. They print them. They ship it back to us in 2 weeks, and we start fulfilling.
Cool. You get 15% off.
Yep.
Nice.
That's really cool of them to do just by putting that on there.
Yeah. No, it looks awesome. I mean, you're definitely going to make the 10K. I see that happening.
I certainly hope so. I mean, we're doing better than we did on the first campaign. We've already surpassed the funding goal, but not the backers account.
Well, that'll come. I mean, you guys
that just tells me that people are buying add-ons.
Yeah. So you're at 160 a bag. A lot of backers. So, I mean, it's a good amount.
Yep. I can't remember how many. Let me see here what we had last time. I'll pull it up real quick. You all. Human Hunter or Zinja Bimbo's number one. 221 backers.
All right.
For the first copy.
Yep.
All right. So you got another 43 people at least coming in.
Yep, we hope so.
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, it looks awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
So it says, sorry, jump back on here real quick. The last 7 publishers can also sell their own books for full retail, though. There are outlets and shops as well as Diamond. True.
Yep, we've got a website that we sell our stuff through. I still got to put all the physical books up, but we've got our digital books up, and we've got all of our swag, like our hoodies and our T-shirts and all that stuff, which I'm wearing. A Mary Machine Gun T-shirt right now that I got from that shop.
Oh, nice. All right, gentlemen, it looks incredible. We've been at this for a little while. We're almost done, but we're not there just yet. All right. So I got some goofy questions I want to ask you guys. But before we get to that, I want to ask you guys, please let everybody know where they can find you and your work. So Max, you first.
You can find us at atrocitypress.com. It's got all of our social media links on that website. It's got all of our shop on that website. It's got pretty much everything that you need to know about Atrocity Press on that website. If you want to stay up to date on all the news from Atrocity Press, you can keep track of it on our Twitter account. It's at Mary Machine Gun. Or you can search for Atrocity Press Comics, and it's a group on Facebook. And those are the best places to keep up to date, like right away up to date. Of course, Instagram is at Atrocity Press _. And that's all of our, anytime we do art, it goes up there.
All right, cool. Johnny, what do you got?
Pretty much same thing. I mean, because it pretty much is both of us. The only difference for me is you can also get a hold of me through Brute Squad Entertainment on Facebook or, the website's under construction, but it'll soon be going here probably in the next couple months.
All right, cool. And before we go into my goofy question, I know you guys have a couple other books coming up, and what are they and when they're coming up?
We've got Human Hunters 2 that's coming up in October, and then Mary Machine Gun number 4 comes out in November.
All right, cool. So we can always bring you back on the Sunday show, and
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
That'd be great.
Yeah. All right, now on to these goofy questions that I like to ask everybody. All right, here first, and each of you, if you guys had the choice of any cover artist to choose, living or dead, to do a cover for you, who would you get?
I know who Johnny's going to say.
Yep.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Go ahead. You answer for me, Max.
Al Rio.
That would be Al Rio. I love me some Al Rio. God, rest in peace. He's one. And probably second would be Balint. I'm a big Jim Balint fan.
Okay. Max, who would you get?
I would like, let's see. I would either like Joseph Scott Campbell or Jamie Tyndall, because I like their art styles, and I've already knocked one out of the park with the bucket list for artists for life, and that was when we got Ed Benez to do a cover for Mary Machine Gun 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Now, gentlemen, if you had the if you guys got the golden ticket and the big companies called you up and they said, hey, listen, here's some IPs, like which IP would you want to work on? It doesn't matter. Marvel, DC, Image, what IP would you want to like work on?
Me, Catwoman.
Okay, interesting.
I'd want to do it like kind of like a Crow story, to where she gets killed and comes in. The cat is what brings her back, and she has a cat instead of a crow. And I think that would be kind of interesting.
All right, Johnny. Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Max.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to say if I got to do anyone, as much as I hate to say it because I don't think it needs to be repeated, doing a different version of the Crow would be pretty sweet.
Mm.
I've always been a big Crow fan. Crow and Highlander, those have been always, my favorite.
I was going to say, I figured you would have said Highlander out of the gate.
Yeah, but that's one of those that's only me done. I'd love to do X-Men. Like if I could get an X-Men book and not have all the restrictions that all the writers get when they do it, would be great. I'd love to do a Gambit book.
Mm.
Oh yeah, so. Gambit's my favorite X-Men.
All right, cool. Now I got some comparatives, and I'll softball you guys, and then we'll work our way in. All right, so here goes. All right, so Johnny, you can go first on this one. Batman or Captain America?
Batman.
Okay. All right, now I'll give you guys a choice. You can either answer the same question that I just asked, or I could just ask the next person a different one.
We can do the same one, and we'll just both do it.
All right,
we'll
Matt,
just do a quick one.
Batman.
Fair enough. Godzilla or Gamera?
Oh. Godzilla.
Gamera the space monster. Oh yeah.
All right. Nice.
I like Godzilla, the king of monsters.
Hey, Rodan's the best out of all of them. Still, I'm always about Rodan.
All right. Teen Titans or X-Men?
Oh.
I'm going to have to go with X-Men because there's more characters and there's just more stuff that I like in it. But Teen Titans was really good.
It's close. I got to say, those are my two staples that I've been collecting. Nightwing is my favorite superhero of them all. Gambit's actually right below him. So I'd have to go Teen Titans just because anything with Nightwing I'm going to buy.
Gotcha. Secret Wars or Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Crisis on Infinite Earths. George Perez, Wilferman. Oh, no, you can't beat that.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. Paul Levitz or Jim Shooter?
Lovitz probably, because he also did, as a producer or as a writer?
As EIC, actually.
Oh, editor in charge.
Editor in charge. Can we do a write-in and I can do, can I do Roy Thomas as a write-in?
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Roy was really good.
Roy he's my favorite writer of all times. I love Roy Thomas, but I'd have to probably say Lovitz over Shooter.
Okay.
Yep, I agree.
All right, fair enough. Frank Miller or Alan Moore?
Alan Moore.
Oh, dang.
Alan Moore is just much more poetic than Frank Miller was.
Yeah,
he's a good writer, but Alan Moore was much. His run on Swamp Thing is my favorite comic book run.
It's close. It's very close. I'd probably have to say Alan Moore. I was always a big Watchmen fan. I did like him.
Fair enough. Comic year, 1986 or 1991?
86.
Oh man. Yeah, I'd have to say 86 as well. 91 was great, but 91 was also kind of the downfall, the beginning of the end. Well, 86 was the beginning of the end also, really, to be honest with you.
Anything in the 90s, it was grunge influenced. We can't have it.
Wow. Okay. Kirk or Picard?
Oh, Kirk.
It depends. Do you
Kirk
want him to be rough and tumble badass guy, or do you need diplomacy dude? But it's I like Picard better than Kirk.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm a Kirk guy, so we can't agree on everything.
Yeah, I like Captain Kirk. Don't get me wrong, but Picard they haven't recast yet.
True.
But listen, go ahead, John.
I was just saying it's coming.
That's true. Yeah, it is coming. But I always like to say, there are no wrong answers.
Oh, granted.
You know what I mean? There are no wrong answers. So it's just like, it's just all a matter of like, it's just interesting to see how different people react to the questions.
Oh, yeah.
Lord of the Rings or Star Wars?
Star Wars for me, probably most likely. I mean, I really like Lord of the Rings, but Star Wars there's more connection to it as was a child. It's more nostalgic to me than Lord of the Rings was, because Lord of the Rings I saw when I was an adult.
I have to say Star Wars. I went as Han Solo like 4 years in a row for Halloween. And just to give you my background a little bit, for me, the fantasy series was always Dragonlance. That Dragonlance was more, I like that. I know it's terrible to say. I enjoyed that more than Tolkien. Dragonlance to me, I think, is one of the best fantasy series ever written.
Okay, fair enough. J. Scott Campbell or Joe Mad?
Campbell.
Scott Campbell.
Okay, fair enough.
Joe Mad is good though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, listen, that's not to denigrate.
No, I know. No. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that Joe Mad is really good. Because I was just looking at some of his art the other day, and I was like, "Damn, that guy's good."
Yeah. I mean, look. Here's one for you: Bernie Wrightson or Barry Windsor Smith?
Like Barry.
I was going to say Bernie Wrightson.
It's close. That's a hard one.
Oh yeah.
I want to roll a dice on that one. I didn't roll it.
Neil Gaiman or Grant Morrison?
Gaiman. I don't need an encyclopedia to enjoy it.
Yeah, really.
All right, that's fair. Doctor Strange or John Constantine?
John Constantine.
Absolutely.
What's up? RJ?
Nice.
What's up, RJ? Manga or anime?
I prefer anime because I like to watch the animations itself. I mean, I like when the animes are really close to the manga. That way, it feels kind of like a real translation. But I prefer anime.
Anime.
Fifth Element or Stargate?
Fifth Element. Come on, Lulu Dallas multi-pass.
God, that's hard because I got to tell you, I really enjoyed Bruce Willis in that, but I'm a big James Spader fan. So if you're talking movie, Kurt Russell and James Spader, I probably got to go with Stargate.
That was a good movie.
I mean, the acting was just so good in it.
Mm-hmm. Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers?
Michael Myers.
Freddy.
Freddy.
Okay.
Actually, I Doug Bradley. Kingpin. Pinhead. No, I would say Michael Myers.
Well, it's funny. My next one is Pinhead or Freddy Krueger.
Oh, Pinhead.
Pinhead for sure.
But see, we used to interview Doug Bradley, and I just love, like, he tells the horror stories at Halloween, and I love Doug Bradley. He's awesome. So I got to go with Pinhead on that one.
Fair enough. Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair?
I thought you were going to say Lou Ferrigno.
Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair?
Well, isn't Ric Flair the guy that like had his wiener hanging out on the airplane?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, I'm gonna go with Ric Flair.
I'm gonna honestly, I'm not a big fan of either one. I was a Bret Hart fan all the way. Best there is, the best there was. So I got to do the write-in.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. All right, look, I've asked you guys a bunch of these already, so I'm gonna ask you a couple more, and then we'll wrap it up.
No, these are great.
All right, John Byrne or George Perez?
George Perez.
George Perez. But Byrne's right behind it. I love me some Byrne. It's a close tie, but Perez, he did all the Teen Titans that I love and grew up with.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And nobody can put that many people on a panel like he can. I mean, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, back in the 80s, when you're talking about the 80s, his Justice League run is still some of the best artwork. And that's when he was just starting out. He was starting out better than most of these guys end up with their careers. That guy was just, he was a genius in art.
Oh, no, definitely. I mean, you know, the Judas contract, one of my favorite stories in there. That's, you know, to go back to Robin. Or Penguin.
Well, there was also that X-Men Teen Titans crossover that he did.
Yep.
Well, that was Walter Simonson.
Oh.
That's right. That is right. I stand
know.
corrected.
I literally have one sitting right over here.
I have one at home. That is right. Who wrote that? Was that Marv, though?
Might have been Chris Claremont.
Was that? I can't remember if that was Marv or Claremont that did that. Now I got to look it up.
Yeah, now that one I'll have to look because I know because I think they switched. Like they had one guy from Marvel and that might have been Walter, and then the other guy from DC and it might have been Marv. So yeah, it might be Marv's fault.
Yeah, they always have to do that when they do crossovers. It's like, okay, well, will you get half your team and we'll get half our team and we'll make it all happen. And your doesn't get any more screen time than our character does.
That was Claremont. That's right. Claremont and Simonson. I forgot there was Simonson.
Yeah,
he was channeling Perez in that, though.
I think a problem. They're good friends. No. Oh, here we go. Next Gen or DS9?
I like the Next Generation better than Deep Space Nine because Deep Space Nine was kind of stationary, and stuff had to come to them instead of them going out to find other things. And you know, people don't like Q, but I thought he was great.
I like Q. For me that's easy. I like Next Generation 100 times better than Stargate. Not Stargate, but Deep Space Nine.
All right, cool. All right, we'll end it on this one. Stan Lee or Jack Kirby?
Well, Jack Kirby created Stan Lee.
He drew him into life, right?
Drew him, blew life into him.
All right.
I got to say Stan Lee just because, I mean, yeah, he drew him, but Stan Lee with just the marketing genius that he was. I mean, he made some great, I mean, some of them can be questioned, but some of the moves he did was just brilliant. I mean, just buying Captain America and all the stuff he did through the years was smart.
All right, here's one for you, Johnny. It says, I want to know how Johnny got that great background.
Going in debt for,
comic books.
For comic books. That is the background of my store. When you walk in, this is what you see behind the counter. And I do, usually I jump on the computer.
All right, cool. Well, gentlemen,
sell those books to me.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we made it to the end. This was awesome.
Yeah.
The book looks great. So Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space. Space. So the link is in the show notes. So if you want to pick up a copy or pick up several, the link is in there. So go check it out. And gentlemen, this was awesome. Thank you for being here.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, JD. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Before we go, Johnny, one more time, where can they find you and your work?
You can find me at atrocitypress.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. Johnny.reed at atrocitypress.com if you want to shoot me a letter. All
right, cool. Max?
Yep, atrocitypress.com. It's got all of our links to our socials on there. You can check those out. You can check out all of our shop and everything. And then if you want to find me personally, you can just search for Max DeVill on any of the social medias.
Right,
Yep.
there you go. Gentlemen, like I said, it's awesome. Go check out their books. Go check out the Oswald Chronicles. I'll see you guys next Sunday. And, everybody, have a great night.
You too.
Peace.
Thanks.
Peace.